Hey everyone, John here. Particle Illusion 2025 is out and includes a brand new repeat animation feature, which is going to help save you time and get more creative when working in Particle Illusion. The new repeat animation feature fits right into Particle Illusion's easy preset workflow. Let me show you what I mean. Here in the interface, I'm going to start with a preset. I'm just going to search for one, smooth, and I want this one, Smooth Trail Wispy. Now I can preview that just by clicking up here in the preview window. And you can see how this turns to a kind of smoky red look at the end, which is really interesting. So I'm going to add that onto the stage by clicking on the new Add button. That drops that right in there. And at the moment it looks a little weird, not really doing anything because it needs a motion path. So I could create that manually, but why would I do that? All I have to do is right click on Position and choose Load Preset. And I'm going to choose this one here. This is a heartbeat or ECG and click Apply. Just going to choose the default settings and apply again. There's my keyframes there. You can see down here in the value graph, there's the graph. And if I just click play, it shoots across the frame and we'll get that red squiggly look at the end of the animation, which is really interesting. Now, obviously this is an ECG or heartbeat and you'd expect it to keep going, right? Repeating one after the other because hopefully this person's still alive. So got to keep it going across, and we could try and do that manually, but this is where the new repeat parameter animation option comes in really handy. You can see automatically there's a total animation cycles of 2, and there's now 2. So what I can do is increase that amount, maybe take it up to 6. And I might just cancel that and just zoom back in again or zoom out again. Try that again. Repeat parameter animation. Now we can see it a little better. So we'll go up to 6 there. Now, if I wanted to add a little more time between each repeat, I could increase the frames between cycles. And if I wanted to sort of a hold for a little time before it hits the next cycle, I can use the hold last value between cycles. And that adds a bit of space, you see. So if I just increase that, now we've got a little bit of time between each cycle. And you can also do this. You could reverse the cycles. If I turn that off, bring this back to 1, I could reverse them. And now I'd have it ping-ponging from one side to the other, which is really interesting as well. So you can definitely spend a bit of time playing around in this and coming up with some different looks. So I'm going to switch off reverse, just click Apply. And now you can see I'm getting multiple repeats. Very nice, right? And that made that really fast and really easy. Now, I'd like to change this look up a bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this by right-clicking, choosing Duplicate Emitter. And I want to change the emitter. So for this one, I want to use a squiggle into place. So I'm going to type that in. Squiggle into place. And there it is there. I can do a little preview. So that's a lot more squiggly. So to replace that, all I have to do is right-click on the node and choose Replace with Library Emitter. And now we've got the same animation, but 2 different emitters. And now I would like to borrow the color, or the gradient color from that one and give it to that one. And before Particle Illusion 2025, what I would have to do is double-click on the gradient, have a look in the presets and see if it was there. If it wasn't, I would have to save the preset. And then I would have to come in here and load the preset, but not anymore. All I have to do is hold down the Alt key and drag and drop. How easy is that? I love this feature. After all these years of using Particle Illusion, this is finally an option. You could also right-click and you could copy and paste. And notice you can also do that for alpha gradient as well. So that's starting to look really good. And look, we have hardly done anything. We haven't touched any parameters here other than right-clicking and choosing presets. It's a very, 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 very much a preset-driven workflow now. What if I wanted to change the particles? So just double-click. Maybe I want it a little more defined. I just choose this power palette, makes it a little sharper. And what if I wanted it for both of them? Well, I can actually do the same thing. I can Alt-drag and drop. Boom. So easy. And obviously, if I've got 15, 20 different emitters and particles in here, being able to drag and drop, Alt drag and drop onto those is such a time saver. It's a beautiful thing. And you're not limited to just repeating position keyframes. You can try this with other keyframe parameters. In this example, I've got a fireworks burst, and it's a great looking preset, but of course it just burst once. So this is where repeat can really be helpful. Now this is a super emitter, so I'm going to repeat the super emitter number, and this is the F number. So if I right click and choose repeat animation and make that 6, you can see down there in the graph how I've got 6 repeats. I click apply and play, and now I get a continuous burst. So it probably would be nice to put a bit of space between that. So, because they're so close together, it looks continuous. So if I just give myself a little more space there and repeat again. So I'm going to go up to 6 and I'm going to add some frames between. And now I want to hold it. So I'm going to click on hold. There we go. So now if we apply that, we'll get a little pause between each one. Very nice. What if I like that, but I wanted even more? Well, I can just repeat it again. Right click, repeat, and once again, hold, add the space between, or the frames between, and apply. And now I've got double the amount of cycles. So easy, right? What if we didn't want them to all look the same? So let's undo that. And I'm going to do the same thing, repeat. I'm going to hold and add some space between, give myself, say, 6, and now I'm going to cycle it. So cycle the scale, and it's going to change it up. So each one's going to be slightly different. And click apply. So we've got a bigger one and slightly smaller ones, right? Well, when I say bigger and smaller, I mean bigger and smaller in number. So a few less. And of course, what I can do is go in and, fine tune the graph. I don't have to if I don't want to, but I've always got that option. I can play around with that. And once again, I can repeat what I've got there. Add a bit of time. Hold that. And play that one. So now I've got a little more interesting and organic look. It feels, not like it's a loop, but it's extended and it looks a lot more interesting and a lot more natural. And you saw how easy that was, right? I wasn't playing around with these parameters, just right-clicking and using repeat and using sliders. Super easy. And I love that I can go in and fine-tune down here in the value graph if necessary. And here's one more example. This is a glitter fountain, and it has some rotation keyframes or angle keyframes. It'd be really nice if this was repeated as well. So all I have to do is right-click, choose Repeat Parameter Animation, and we have a look down here in the value graph. Just repeat that. Once again, I could always put some frames between those. Hold that. If I wanted to, I could reverse that. I'm going to click Apply there. And now I've got an extended animation in just a couple of clicks. I've got to put some trails on this though. This is going to look so much better with some lines. So draw trails. Whoa, that looks great. What a difference that makes. And that's just a couple of examples of how you could use repeat animation in Particle Illusion. I've only really just scratched the surface, and we're really excited to see how you're going to use it. And remember, there's lots of great new presets included in Particle Illusion 2025, as there is in every new release, so definitely check those out. To learn more about Continuum and Particle Illusion, be sure to visit borisfx.com, where you can also download a free trial. For now, this is John. I'll see you in the next tutorial.